How's it going, everyone? I hope you guys are doing well. With the year coming to a close, I wanted to make a quick little video talking about my favorite release of 2024. I was originally going to do a list of like maybe my top 10 albums, top 20 albums, but there's a lot of albums I missed this year that I'm just now getting to, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. I'm just going to talk about my absolute favorite record, not necessarily the best record, but more so just what I thought was, hey, like this is my personal favorite record that I just can't put down. I have two I'll talk about in this video, and maybe I'll go back and revisit some of them in another video. I think I'm just going to do some small videos here or there, talk about a record here, a record there, mainly stuff in my collection so I can show you guys the record. If you're watching this and if you enjoy it and you feel like my rambling, then leave me a comment if you want me to cover some records that I really like that I don't physically own. I'll do that too. I mean, I'll talk about music, that's fine. With that being said, my absolute favorite record this year is Die Urkatastrophe from Kanonenfieber. Now, if you're not familiar with this band, this is a one-man project out of Bamberg, Germany. The man leading the project goes by Noise. He has a couple of other projects, but I haven't checked them out. So I've really just kind of been stuck on this project since their previous release, Menschenmühle, in 2021. I do not own that one physically, but I'll get to it. That being said, this is a great record. It revolves around World War I themes from the German soldiers' point of view. This is melodic blackened death metal, if you want to categorize it. Blackened death with a lot of melodic lines in it. It's a fantastic album. The vinyl itself is pretty cool. You get a lot of cool World War I stuff in here. Highly recommend picking this up just to have it. I mean, the cover is gorgeous. The extra goodies you get are fantastic. The music is great. So we can talk about the music. What is it? Who is it for? Like I said, melodic blackened death metal. It's all about World War I. There's a lot of like propaganda sound bits that get thrown into the songs, and it really helps like immerse you into what this record is trying to accomplish. Really just kind of puts you into that feeling of a World War I soldier who's in the trenches or on the front lines or digging underground. And I think the record does a good job of that. It's a controlled chaos, I would say. Some of the songs start off very fast or very slow. There's a lot of atmosphere. The record just flows very well. Noise's vocals have really... how do I put them? They're kind of raw sounding, but in a refined way. The record is in German. Just throwing that out there. Words are all in German, which I think adds a lot to this overall project. I think if that wasn't the case, it wouldn't be as good. Not saying that the instrumentation isn't good. I think the instruments are fantastic. I'll touch upon that in a minute. But the vocals are very good. You can very clearly pick out and hear what is being said in the songs despite the harsh vocals, and I really appreciate that. The drums are fantastic. They are thunderous in this record. Absolutely monstrous. Very varied too. It really helps build that overall kind of atmosphere. There's a lot of like marching tones in this album between the guitars and the drums, and I absolutely dig it. I cannot put this record down. The guitars, I love the tone. The riffs are awesome. There are riffs for days in this album. Some of them are simple. Most of them are simple. I don't think there's any complicated riffs on this album. They're just good riffs on this album. Some example maybe would be the Panzerhenker. It's a very kind of slow riff, very simple riff, but it sounds big. It's a very big, monstrous riff. It's kind of got this marching feel to it, and you kind of get that all over the album. Noise's tremolo picking is incredible through this record, and it really helps to establish that atmosphere and that feeling of like either cold or dread from leaving the trench, from marching across into no man's land, trying to make it to the enemy trench. It's pure chaos, but not in the way of like war metal, not in that kind of way, more so in just the way of storytelling, if that makes any sense. I apologize if that kind of doesn't make too much sense. That being said, I recommend you buy this. Truly, if you're a fan of extreme music, if you're a fan of death metal, black metal, I'd say pick it up. It's a great record. It's out of Century Media Records. It came out earlier this year. It's if the last record is an 8, which I would probably put it at like a 7 or an 8. The last record mentioned Mula, I would put this one as a 10. That's my personal favorite of the year. I absolutely dig it. With that being said, if you had asked me 6 months ago what my favorite record was going to be, I would have told you that my favorite record of the year was going to be Never Neverland by Unto Others. I was so excited, so excited for this record because the singles they were dropping were banger after banger. Like, they were very good. Now, once I got the record and I checked it out, it starts off very strong. The first 4 songs, they go very hard. And then the album kind of takes a real dip. It goes into a real low point. I'm not saying it's bad. It's still a good record. But my anticipation was up in the sky for this record, and when I got it, it lowered a bit. I think it has some really strong points in this album. Starts off strong, dips really low, and it comes back up. But I think the previous release strength is... I would probably say it's better than this release. That being said, the singles on here were very good, and it's still worthy of a listen. 100% worthy of a listen, and even of a buy. I don't regret buying this. I still listen to it. I'll come home from work and toss this bad boy on. No big... great album. But I think that's pretty much it. That's all I've got for today. Kanon and FIBA really blew it out of the water for me. I mean, Duo Katastrophe is fantastic. Such a good record. I can't stop putting it down. I listen to it all the time. Noise did a fantastic job of creating this World War I atmosphere, this like dread and this feeling of just being stuck in a trench or being stuck underground trying to dig to the enemy trench. Like, it does a really good job of doing that, and I'm incredibly happy with this record. I look forward to the next release. Like I said, if you're a fan of black metal, if you're a fan of death metal, maybe some melodic stuff, just a fan of extreme metal, check it out. Go give it a listen on Spotify, and buy a t-shirt, buy the album. You won't regret it. It's awesome. Anyway, I think that's it for today. If you have any comments on these 2 albums, go ahead and drop a little comment for me below. I'll check it out. Let me know what your favorite album of the year was. Not necessarily the best album of the year, just what your favorite album of the year was. Have a good one.